And good day to you all. It's very nice to be here with Melanie. Melanie, good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to have you here with us in the podcast. And we're actually opening a new chapter. We, as you know, people that follow us might also know we used to be known as the Benidorm Gastro Business Podcast a while back. Yes, we did with Ale Ronzani from Parallel Studios, who is also here giving me his usual signals. I never know what he means by the signals, but I know he gives me a lot of signals, so I tend to try and follow what it says. I will someday figure out what he means, but while we do that, as you know, Melanie, we used to be known as the Benidorm Gastro Business Podcast before we were absorbed or became branded by ABRECA. So it's great to have you here with us, and it's also great to do what I think it's our first or second episode in English.
Oh, cool.
So we will mark that as one of our milestones here. It's always nice. My name is Humberto H.J. Norme. It's very nice, as I was saying, to be here with Melanie Carosi from Spasso. You will have to tell us about what your space does, your because you told me it's a very nice combination of restaurant, coffee shop, etc. I will ask you about that. And you might want to let me and let our viewers and the people that follow us know about the actual word Spasso, which is very interesting as far as I'm concerned, because the concept itself of what you do in your space, I think it's defined by that word. But let me ask you first. How did you go into that business? What brought you to the COBRECA business in the first place, Melanie?
Okay. So I was born in Germany, and my father is Italian.
What a combination!
Yes,
yes.
So half German, half Italian.
Right.
And my parents always owned a business, a pizzeria, since I am a child.
Wow.
Yes, I practically grew up in a pizzeria.
Wow.
With many mixed people from many countries, with Italian people or French. And so. Yes, I grew up in that business, and when I was very young, I already started to work to help my family, and I always liked this kind of work, because you're always in a move. You can talk to people,
right?
And it's not like sitting in an office the whole day, you know.
No, it's actually
it's
almost the opposite,
yes,
right? Because people move about, and I think it's a very nice background that you have, and I think that people that follow us might wonder, because correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm often wrong, and I will not change that habit of mine. But if you find that there's something that needs correction from my part, please let me know. But when it comes to a second generation business owner, sometimes in certain particular branches or industries of business, it does not always follow that the second generation wants to follow in the same branch. Just to follow up on what you were saying, what made you go through and follow in the steps of those that came before you?
Okay, yeah, that's a nice question.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it doesn't always happen.
I actually never wanted to have my own business. But I liked. I love restaurants. I love to work there. You have this place with all these people and all the flow, and you know, and there's always something happening. And I really like to. You're always in a move. You can talk to. You know so much people in that business. And when I was a child, I was fascinated about the waiters, how many plates they could, they could bring, and they were always funny and making jokes with the colleagues, and I always loved this business.
And let me ask you, from your role as the owner of Spasso, how are you focusing on bringing that vision or that feeling that made you go into the business into Spasso? How are you making that happen? Because I'm assuming that's part of what makes it characteristic.
As well, yeah. Maybe, you can come to Spasso, you can come to have a coffee, you can come to eat, you can have dinner, lunch or breakfast. So it's not an obligation to have food or to and
it's very open.
It's very open. It's very in Spanish you say desenfadado.
Desenfadado. I like the word.
Yes.
Desenfadado.
So it's a concept of you can even come to buy cigarettes, or you can do anything. It's not. There's not.
Yes, there's not an assumption of what must happen once you walk through the door.
Yes,
perhaps, which is very liberating.
Yes.
Because oftentimes it might have happened to you. You come into a restaurant or a place of business of the sort, and you're expected to sit down. You're expected to have a course of meals in a certain way, by a certain hour, by a certain time. And I think you have managed to bring some of that freedom into your space. At some point, I will ask you to define spazio itself as a word in Italian. Is that possible in English? Because we attempted it in Spanish and we failed miserably a couple of minutes ago, but perhaps in English it's easier?
Maybe.
What does it mean?
Andare a spasso means go for a walk.
Okay.
And spasso by itself, it means something like fun, conversation, something nice. Che spasso?
How entertaining, fun.
Something like that.
Desenfadado, I think, fits a lot. It's a very nice word. It's like in Dutch, they have this word gezellig, and they cannot define it until you actually experience it. So I will add spasso, if I may, to my dictionary of words that I have to investigate further. And I will, of course, visit you. But I wanted to also ask you before we close this segment, because I know that, as you know, you are a member of ABRECA, right? Of la Asociación de Bares, Restaurantes y Cafeterías of Benidorm. And we always ask our guests, because, every business is different, every business situation is different, and true. Also, my Spanish is seeping out. The public health challenges that we're facing are many. In the HoReCa sector, I need not say how awful it has been. And I'm interested in asking you, Melanie, and having you tell the people that follow us, what value do you find in being associated with ABRECA or being a member of ABRECA?
Okay. You were talking about the pandemic. So
in general.
I'm a foreigner, so I'm not from Spain. I came here. I didn't speak much Spanish.
Your Spanish is very good. I need to say that, just for the record.
And when I came here, I didn't know anybody. I was a foreigner, so I didn't know where to ask or where to get information. Because if you open a business, it's not easy. You have to do licenses, you have to talk to architects, lawyers, and maybe you don't know them.
Right.
You don't know what you have to accomplish
right. It's complicated.
It's
complicated enough once even if you've grown here. I imagine
of
coming
course.
from a different background.
Yeah,
it must be a challenge.
And if I would have known that ABRECA existed before, it could have helped me to get consulted by professional people who know the laws and everything, or they can give you contacts.
Of course.
I mean, if you need a gestoria, or you need a lawyer or an architect, or so.
It's good that you say that in hindsight. Looking back.
Yes.
It's good that you're capable of realizing that now. Had I known about ABRECA earlier, everything would have been much easier, right?
Yeah, I think so. And now in the pandemic, it has been very important for me, or for my business as well, because they were changing the laws not every day, but every maybe 5 minutes.
Yes, of course.
So we have a WhatsApp group, and we pass all the information. So if you have a doubt, you ask. There's somebody who tells you, no, it's like this, or can the people the people who are not vaccinated, they can sit in the terrace, can they go to the bathroom? Yes, they can, because they put the mascara. So, all these kind of things, it's important that you have somebody you can ask to. Yes,
kind of like a support.
Yes.
At least somebody has to know something about what's going on, right? Somebody has to.
You have 20 pages of laws. You're not gonna go to read that. I need 2 days for that.
I was gonna say, on top of your everyday business responsibilities, because you have a business to run,
of course,
which the people that follow us know what that entails. It's amazing, and I really appreciate your view on this, Melanie Carosi. It's been great having you, owner of Spasso. We'll probably do another episode with you, and you will explain that word at length, because I'm still curious. But it's been great, Melanie, having you with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for your choice of being here with us in the podcast. And the only thing that remains now is to thank Ale Ronzani, also from the production team, giving me a signal. My name is Humberto H.J. Normie. With this episode of the ABRECA podcast, it's been great having you all at the other end of this connection, as always. And I trust that you will choose to follow us and keep this conversation going. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.